This is Big B and Shade for TacoYaki Anime.
Yo!
We are back. We will be talking about, oh god, this page is all wrong.
What'd you do?
It's Monthly Ketchup 60, February 2020. Upcoming spring anime.
Wait, who's DK? Oh, that's you. Okay, wait a minute. That's what you went. I was just saying, like, wait. Who's DK? That's right. You rebranded. I forgot. That's on my bad.
But yeah, I did the thing. I don't know why I didn't update, but yeah. Sorry for the delay at the beginning of the show. Live show. We're ranting about the whole Funimation, Amazon, Ishizoku reviewers. Yeah.
You know, that's almost anything you could call that. So.
Yeah. So that. So yeah, all of that little rant will be at the end of the podcast. I have the audio recording, so that will be there. Don't hop over there yet. But yeah. We have 20 shows that we'll be talking about today. So
in general, looking at this coming season, I mean, this is the spring season. We all know summer season is usually the big season.
Blockbusters.
I think, like, yeah, if you were to look at seasons as far as, like, the most hype in regards to anything, summer is usually the biggest season, maybe closely followed by winter, and I think it's a toss-up between spring and fall. But looking at this season, like, I see some sequels that I'm excited about. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely some sequels I'm very excited about. But in general, the new titles, I'm not seeing too many that I'm, like, chomping at the bit to really want to, like, sink my teeth into. I don't know about you, if that's the case for you or not.
I'm always, like, up for something brand new. That's basically all I do is I'm the tasting test. I'm like, oh, that was cool. That was cool. That was cool. Nyeh. That was cool. That was cool. Nyeh. And I rarely ever come back to things. So there are a few shows here in this season that I'm like, what is that? After watching the trailer. And then there's some, like you said, some sequels that are coming back. So I'm like excited for those too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a mix. I wouldn't say overwhelmingly interesting new shows coming in, but and it's not full of a bunch of sequels. So I think it's a nice even season.
All right, so let's start her off.
Yep. The first show we're going to be talking about is BNA.
Oh yeah, that one. The raccoon-looking person dribbling a basketball.
Yeah.
I immediately went by that and went, nope, next. Nope. All right.
So, I don't know what this is about. I know she was like yelling at somebody about something, and it seems like there's like these beast human characters, and then there's humans, and for some reason she's a special one because I think everybody's after her. But let's find out.
I just was reading. I was watching. Wait. Okay, this is weird. They had a Red Bull placement in there, but they didn't call it Red Bull. They called it Firebull. Sorry, that just struck me. I'm like, wait, that's Red Bull. And they're like, no, it's Firebull. And I'm like, no. Come on, let's be honest here. That's Red Bull.
It's like McDonald's. It's like you're not even trying. I'll just show you one letter.
Yeah.
But yeah, synopsis for this one is: in the 21st century, the existence of animal humans came to light after being hidden in the darkness of history. Michiru lived life as a normal human until one day she suddenly turns into a Tanuki human. She runs away and takes refuge in a special city called Anima City that was set up 10 years ago for animal humans to be able to live as themselves. There, Michiru, a wolf human who hates humans, through Shiro's, Michiru starts to learn about the worries, lifestyle, and joys of animal humans. As Michiru and Shiro try to learn why Michiru suddenly turned into a animal human, they unexpectedly get wrapped up in a large incident. Yep, that looks like what happened in the trailer. um, let me get to the list. List kicked me out. Um, yeah, why did I pick this show? It looks cool. Oh, I need to save my notes. 1 second.
Okay. Click. I don't know. This is just very weird. I know it's not saying necessarily a whole lot. This is anime. Anime is always very weird, but was this just an excuse to have animal people? I wonder what the point is behind it. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Open. Let's see. Network drive.
I just feel like there's, I don't know. What has been like the necessarily increase in animal people?
Yeah, that is a trend that's starting to be starting to show up a
Yeah,
lot.
just a bit. We kind of had it like loosely there, where like people could transform into animal people and then have like abilities or whatever, but it was never like full on animal people, I want to say, until just recently with that one show that came out that we all were just like, this is very weird.
The
Where it
one
was
that
like,
was on Netflix.
was it? It's the one they had where it was the guy was a predator, and then there was a rabbit who was trying. Like you watched the first
Yeah,
episode, I think, for it.
yeah, that was the
Yeah.
Netflix show. Yeah.
Okay. God,
Uh,
I forget. Netflix, of course, another one who has animes for some reason, but only releases them after all the episodes are actually out.
yeah, and that.
Netflix, just get away from the anime. Make it worse for people who want to watch them as they come out.
Yeah, but yeah. So there was one thing I wanted to say, and I couldn't remember if it was this show, but yeah, this looks like a Shaft show. Like it has the styles of like
Just good.
Gurren Lagann and
Yeah, I could see that. I was about to say just because of the animation style that it has in it.
yes,
Like the scene where she's running away from the building while pushing the old goat dude in front of her. It's very
yeah,
like over, almost cartoonish. I think is what
yeah,
Shaft style a lot of times ends up being, where they
yeah,
have like the over exaggerated angles and stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah.
And if you look at the studio's Trigger, which are the people who came from Shaft,
Mm-hmm.
who has that style. So, like, I guess was right. So I am excited to see what this is going to be because it's going to be over the top crazy. Now that I know the triggers involved, and
I mean, I'll leave it up to you. And, if you watch the first episode of it as per usual, and let me know what you think. But give me enough time if you think it's worth it to actually potentially watch it, and let me know when it's on, if I can actually watch it.
yeah, I think
I may watch this one. I don't know. I feel like it's just it's forcing the whole animal human thing a bit. much though.
Okay.
But if it works well enough, let me know, and I might pick it up just to watch the first episode for it.
Yeah, I will. I will talk about the first episode, and I guess when I watch it, I
Just
will message you so
message me
we
or
can
something.
both have our first impressions on the same episode.
Let me know. Or if you're just like, if even you're like, nah, it's not worth it, then I'll be like, well, I made a good decision then.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and let's see.
Hmm? You still there? Oh. Uh-oh. Stream and everything has now gone down. Oh no! DK! On my end or is it on his end? I think it's on his end. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm like fragmented. Oh. Maybe I'll come this way. DK, come back! Okay. Stream stopped. On my end, is it? I don't think so. I guess like I should still be able to. Uh-oh. YouTube.
God,
Back.
just computer stop. Just let me finish the show, and then you can update all you want later. Open up everything. Oh man. This time, these two. Here, here. Man, and put the audio back up. Ah. Yeah, I know it closed unexpectedly. Go ahead and continue from where you were. Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, that's weird. It's saying that the audio is 3 hours long. It's not. Okay.
Might be having some major issues here.
Well, I think because the last time, what happened is the last time we recorded, I left everything and then I came back and I was like, oh, I didn't shut anything down. So then I was like, okay, well, let's just dust off the dust and then let's just continue like everything hasn't been running for a solid month. And then it was like, oh, I can't do it, I can't. And it crashed. So, um, yeah.
That's disappointing.
But,
I was just looking at the show. Next show we're probably gonna talk about, since we're going usually in order. And one of the ones I picked, and I'm now realizing because um I didn't recognize the studio. But after I looked it up and saw what they did, I'm like, I am probably never gonna find this freaking show.
uh,
Because this is a studio that does things like Pokemon
oh,
and Digimon and that one show that you had wanted to watch before, the soccer one, the
yeah,
Inazuma. Yeah,
yeah,
they
you're not
did
smart
this one
11.
too. Yep. I'm like, I am probably never gonna be able to watch this show.
Ah, that
Wonderful.
sucks.
Because I'm never gonna find it. Wonderful.
I was trying to find it. Okay. Um,
I mean, they've done a lot of shows, but I'm like, Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. Oh wow, they did Berserk? Are you serious? Like the original Berserk.
back.
Yay!
Um,
Oh God, talk about an old throwback. Gunsmith cats.
oh wow. I don't know if I've watched that show, but I know of that show. Isn't that like the
Yeah,
90s?
that was like early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
God, we're verging on, what is it? Actually, it's been over 20 years, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
25 years. Jeez.
Wow.
It's like that's roughly 25, 30 years ago. God damn.
Pro tip: don't leave your computer running for a month and then come back and think it's gonna work. Especially with Windows 10. Yeah, maybe do an update.
All right, so were we done with the previous one?
Oh, I think I left off on how do I think it's gonna play out, and I was like, I think there's a big conspiracy, and then the show crashed.
See, you shouldn't talk about conspiracies.
So yeah, I think there's this big conspiracy going on where somebody's turning people into human human animals, or this group is.
Well, the fact that
And
the person was a human from the beginning, which I now understand, and then turned into one. Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, so I feel like it's been going on for a long time, and they've been keeping it under wraps and shushing anybody who's like gotten too close. And I feel like these main characters are gonna get real close and like.
You know, the fact that they said that the one wolf person that who hates humans, I bet you, I bet you, he's gonna turn into a human at one point.
Oh.
It's not just that they can turn people into animals; it's also that they can turn people who were into animals into humans. Like they can reverse the process.
Oh.
Okay, so one of two things. One of two things is gonna happen. Either he's gonna turn into a human, or he's gonna develop feelings for her, and then she's gonna turn back into a human.
Ah. So go
Because
with.
you can't just have a character and pronounce them someone who hates humans without having a conflict involved where either they themselves are going to turn into the human or someone that they care about is going to end up turning into a human.
Yeah.
It's going to happen one or the other.
Yeah, go the turn into what you hate route or turn into the romance route.
Yeah, one or two things is going to happen. Though the fact that it's only labeled as a fantasy leads me to believe it's probably going to be him that's going to happen, because they're not talking about any sort of romance interest or anything like that.
Okay.
So, still, I think either way is plausible.
Okay. Yeah, that would be cool.
See, that is a description for an anime that allows you to formulate your own sort of hypotenuse on what may happen. That's a good description. It doesn't give you too much, doesn't give you too little. Good going. Whoever made that one, bravo! I love it.
Anime News Net.
There you go. You guys got a good one going.
But yeah, that's a yeah, I'm interested to see how this is gonna play out. Especially because it's Shaft. So Shaft is gonna, I don't know. Like they might, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I haven't seen a Shaft show in a while, so I look forward to seeing what they do with this one.
Mm-hmm.
The next show we're gonna be talking about is Bungo to Alchemist Shinpan no Haguruma. Was there
This one is the one I picked, and it literally translates into literary greats and alchemist, the gears of judgment. That sounds way more Well, I mean, he's way more prolific in the English version than I could just, you Alchemist, and the first thing pops into my mind. I'm sure that many who watch anime is Full Metal, but
Yeah.
so the synopsis for this one is: you are in a world where you can meet famous Japanese historical writers. With a party composed of other writers, you delve into tainted books to purify them, unlock secrets, and gain new allies. I picked this show primarily because it's a fantasy, more or less, and it has to do with books, which I've noticed a lot of the ones that I enjoy with fantasy kind of delve into something having to do with books. And so I'm kind of like, all right, cool. I'm down for this.
Yeah,
Um,
I've noticed that recently.
the Yeah, because you had things like Shield Hero that dealt with books because that's how he got into the world itself. There's one that we're going to be talking about a little bit later that also has to deal with books that I think is pretty nice, pretty interesting. The trailer for that they have on it is a teaser trailer. It shows you almost nothing other than two characters in a still picture motion, essentially. So that doesn't really give you anything. And then the disappointing part that I've now recently found out is this is being done by Oriental Light and Magic, which I did not
Yeah.
recognize that studio name until I looked into what it is that they've done in the past. And what it is they've done in the past is things like Card Fight, Pokemon, Digimon, Zoids, all of these animes that DK and I have had the hardest time trying to find if we wanted to watch it, because it is basically their broadcast. It's like the syndicate for, or it just broadcasts in Japan,
Yeah.
and they don't usually have anyone who ever picks it up as far as a streaming service in the United States. No one usually does.
Yeah.
So as much as I was interested, at least to try to see what this one was going to be about, I can almost guarantee I'm probably not going to be able to watch it, which is annoying, to say the least. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that, because now I disappointed myself by the fact that I found that information out. But I guess it's good enough that I found it out ahead of time, so that way I could prepare myself for that eventuality. But yeah.
So, how do you think it's gonna play out? There's not really a lot of info.
There's not. And it just seems like they're just going on adventures. I can almost see this as another version of was it Kiko or Kiki's or it's like the Journey, the one with
Yeah,
the
Kino's Journey.
Kino, there we go. Kino's Journey. I know it started with a key. I was like, key. Yeah, Kino's Journey. I can almost see this playing out like that, where there's really no conclusion to it. It's just you're going on these adventures with these people.
Okay.
And maybe in the beginning you're only going to have one, maybe two people, and like as the story progresses, these other supporting characters get unlocked because they do say they gain new allies as they go.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a matter of going into books. So I mean, it's interesting to me because you'll have different settings depending upon how this plays out, and unlocking secrets. I'm not really sure how to expect on that, but again, I think it'll be very interesting as far as that goes. So as interested as I am in it, I'm also disinterested because I'm never going to be able to watch it. So
hopefully.
I have absolutely zero hope in regards to that. Like not even gonna try to think about having any hope in regards to it, because I know it's not gonna happen. They're just never going to bring it to the States. So I mean, we've dealt with this enough times in the past to know that it's just never gonna happen.
And it's kind of sad too, because it's like we basically grew up with Toonami, and like Zoids was on there, and Zoids is Oriental Light and Magic, and I'm pretty sure it's like a Digimon. Like that was a broadcast show over here. It's also a broadcast show over there.
Yep.
And then now it's like there's no broadcast place
I
where
will
these shows
say,
will go
I
to.
I will say that I think a lot of times those broadcasts that we saw over here were delayed,
Oh yeah, definitely.
like highly. So like the ones like so as of late, like a lot of times even the dub versions now there's only like a small buffer of maybe like a couple of
We
weeks
yeah
or so where you'll actually see the episodes come out after that, which is really good compared to like what it used to be, where it would be months, if not years, in
yeah
between before those shows would come out. Which is why I think originally sub became such a popular format because you could see them within hours, if not a day or two, with the sub version, as opposed to because all they're doing was putting in the subtitles.
yeah.
You know,
And then
that's it.
even with some shows like Space Dandy or something like that, it comes out in the U.S. first.
Hmm.
So
So there was that sort of thing, but uh, even if I think they were to bring this over into the States, I feel like because of the fact that they don't feel of the because it seems like it's a childish maybe thing sort of format or whatever, that they're not going to give it as much forward as they would other shows in that regards. So they still it even if we were to get these shows, like I guarantee you that soccer one may have showed up over here in the States, but
hmm,
it would be years after it had already broadcasted,
yeah,
oh, over in Japan. So it's disappointing when you have the information in front of you and you can see the potential shows themselves coming out, and then you're like, well, nope, that's never going to show up. That's never going to happen.
yeah.
So, but it's whatever. I'm
It's like, oh well, I guess I'll watch some of the other 30 shows that I can.
yeah,
Even I really wanted to watch this one, but oh well.
yeah. So not a whole lot we can do about it.
Yeah. The next show we're gonna be talking about is uh Fugo Keiji. Balance Unlimited.
Did you have this one too, or was it just me?
I had this one too.
Okay. This definitely seemed interesting. So the basis of the story is it's based on Yasutuka Tsutsui's novel Fugo Keiji, and the story centers around a millionaire, Daisuke Kanbei, the heir to one of the wealthiest families in Japan, who is assigned as a detective to the Modern Crime Prevention Task Force, aka MCPTF, as Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. Taking full advantage of his vast family wealth, he spares no expense in solving complex crimes and has the tendency to evaluate everything, including individual human lives, in terms of their monetary value. Haru Kato, a detective with a compassionate heart who believes that money isn't everything, is chosen as Kanbei's partner, but is repulsed by his materialistic attitude. Having diametrically opposed personalities, witness how the two join forces to tackle seemingly unsolvable crimes and mysteries. So this is kind of a buddy cop show
Yeah.
where you have the two main characters who are just so polar opposite of each other
Yeah.
and personalities, but when you bring them together and you give them an objective to put in front of them, they can put aside their differences and work together. Um, I foresee the first maybe one or two crimes that they're going to solve is going to like they're not the teamwork's not going to be there.
Yeah.
I could probably see like it's going to take a little bit for them to kind of get rolling with each other.
Yeah.
But I think in what we'll see probably in the first episode or two is that both will be necessary in their own ways because of the personalities that they have.
Yeah.
Like you'll need to have that person who is putting like being able to distance themselves emotionally from said whatever's going on, and but you'll also need to have that one person who is bringing in the compassion as well as the human emotions into it as well.
Mhm.
So I have some good feelings for this one. I think it'll be in. Now, will it be a blockbuster? No, but will it be something worth watching, yeah, I think so. And this is done by Cloverworks, who has done some pretty good ones, especially the Persona, and as of late also the Neverland, which was also a very interesting and psychological thriller. So
Ooh.
I have as far as doing like a cop mystery solving kind of sort of way of doing this, I have some high hopes for them in that regards. I think they could probably pull it off pretty well.
Okay. Oh, and they did Bunny Girl.
They
Oh,
did.
this is gonna be good.
Yeah. Like I said,
Okay.
will it be a blockbuster? I don't think so, but will it be good? Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Okay. Yeah, I put the show on my list because it's a realistic style. Like, every time I see an anime like that, unless it's going towards the like family friendly, boring adult story,
Mm.
I tend to or like I don't know, like geared towards a specific audience.
Mm.
I Most of the time I'm like, nah, I'm good. But when it's like realistic, when they're like a mob show that we'd all watch Cyborg and Bouquet was were
No,
on the show also.
you guys have watched it, but I didn't.
Yeah, that one. This kind of
Yeah,
it has that kind of same feeling because it's like based in reality
it
ish.
is, but so I was gonna say, I don't get me wrong, I've kind of downplayed that before, but like so certain anime styles, I believe I'm okay with, depending upon what it is that they're trying to do with it. So for this sort of situation where it's the buddy cop solving mysteries and everything like that, I'm okay with a realistic style because, like you said, it's set in a realistic world. They may change things a little bit and whatnot, like it may be a little different from what we expect, our from our world. But for the most part, you're right. It's going to be pretty much set in our world. So the fact that it is this sort of style, I'm okay with. Like I think that works well for it. In the same sense, like when you have like say for instance No Game No Life, where it had that bubbly bright pastel color almost, where
Yeah, like
and
cotton candy
cotton
colors.
candy almost like that, but it works with the anime because it is a fantasy setting, it is another world altogether, you know what I mean? So no, yeah, the animation itself I think is really gonna lend to it. And I'm yeah, no, I'm looking forward to how what they do with it. So
Yeah. Another show that was kind of like realistic style was Terror and Resonance. You
mm-hmm.
remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah. As soon as I see trailers with like this type of style, I'm like, yes. I don't care what it's about. Yes.
But yeah,
And
no,
then
but the actual so the animation is good, but it has to have to me it has to have when it's the realistic, it has to have a compelling enough story to go along with it, where it's not just the reality of it, but it's also some interesting, if not maybe funny comedic moments. And I think it's not going to be all that with these, but when you have two personalities like this who are so polar opposite of each other, there's going to be a little sprinkling of comedy in it. It's gotta.
oh, like,
So
yeah, I'm excited to see this one. Yeah, now that I know more about it, I am even more excited. Especially because I know that they've done a bunch of stuff that I like. So yeah, I. Uh, the next show we're going to be talking about is Glip Gleipnir.
yeah, this is a very interesting title. I don't even think that's Japanese, is it?
It does not. No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm like, that doesn't even sound remotely Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
because when you look at the native, it's in kanji, and they only use kanji for foreign words.
ah,
So either this is a made up word or it's another language.
okay.
So honestly, I think it's a made up word because it has a manga for it that its source material is for.
Okay.
So I know this is on both of our lists.
Yes.
So I'll do this one. Shuichi Kagya isn't human. He has an unnatural sense of smell and can transform into an incredibly powerful beast of sorts. He does all he can do to avoid standing out and being discovered, but no good deed goes unpunished, and his decision to use his power to save a girl spells the end of his quiet life. So, first off, this
So,
was done by Pine Jam, which I do not know them.
gamers, okay. That was nice. Uh, just because saw first episode, that was okay. Uh, yeah,
I mean, this is a very new studio.
yeah. I haven't finished anything from this studio, so I
I
don't have
mean,
that much experience from them.
I see an OVA, an ONA, a special, another ONA, two TV shorts, and the only full length one that they've done besides this one is Just Because, and that's it. So, fairly new studio. There's a lot of taglines in this one. Did you realize that? Like, did you read that? It's it's got wait, hold on. Let me bring that back up. It's comedy, drama, edgy, romance, sci-fi, and action.
Yeah.
That's a lot of taglines for one show. That does worry me a slight bit because when it has so many taglines like that, I mean, if they do it well, congratulations, 100%. But when you have so many elements being brought into a show like that, it worries me that there may be too much. That will be at least one thought in my mind as far as that goes. Um, but I thought this was one that I had a slight interest in when it came to the like overall like I wasn't even 100% sure how I felt about it even with the synopsis because it's not a lot on that synopsis. They're very vague.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going, but then I guess I kind of pulled a U in this regards and I watched the trailer. And this is also another one that I think has a realistic style to it as far as the
Yeah.
animation goes. But I think because it is set in our world and at current time frame, but it also has that element of the supernatural because of the fact that he can transform into a beast. Which I don't know. The first time I saw this beast when he transformed into it and they showed it in the animation, it looks like just a mascot. Like he's wearing a mascot costume.
Yeah, I was like, is this actual his form or did he put this over his form because his form is scary?
Yeah. Like it
So
literally looks like a mascot costume.
yeah.
But then the fact that I saw him manipulate like his hand and at one part in it like okay, so two things. He manipulated the hand, which if it's a mascot costume, you're not doing that. Like that hand ain't being like moving the way it did because it literally shows like the whole hand and each finger opening slightly.
Mhm.
And then his the pupil of the eye dilated.
uh,
So I'm like, no, that's actually the form. He's
okay.
just really big and almost fluffy looking, but it's also very like terrifying looking at the same time too.
Yeah.
Because
So his pupils are
the
two different sizes, right? Or shapes.
little bit,
Yeah.
and he's got like his mouth. He's constantly grinning with huge, like those teeth are ginormous. I feel like those teeth are about the size, like not even like the width, but just the length of them are like the size of my forearm.
Yeah.
Like they're huge. And then the fact that you see him standing over that girl who looked like was going to cause him problems, um, while the whole building's on fire around him. Like that blonde haired chick looks like she's trouble.
Yeah.
The way she's in the near the lockers with him and has that little like The first time you see her, she's got the shadows over her eyes, and immediately I'm like, oh, that's a problem. When you can't see the eyes of an anime character, like right off from the get-go, I'm like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a problem. And then she has that little grin, that little knowing, like, maybe she already knows his secret or something like that, or maybe she's just teasing him, or maybe she has something evil going on with her a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
mischievous green.
yeah, and she has that lean into it, like, yeah, I'm like, all right, yeah, no, she's gonna be a problem. So, but I don't know. It looks interesting. I don't dislike the animation style. I think it works well with what they're trying to pull off here, and I'm curious to see this beast form of his that they say is powerful of sorts.
Yeah.
So, and what they're going to be doing with it, and they say no good deed goes unpunished. So he saves her. Also, and in one scene they flash by it real quickly. I don't know if you noticed it as well, but they have both of them on top of the school building,
Mm-hmm.
and she is on the other side of the railing.
Okay.
Like, you know how they have it on the school rooftops,
Yeah.
stereotypical. They have that railing to kind of warn people, keep people away from potentially going over the side. She's on the other side.
Yeah, a lot of times there's a big fence.
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is just a railing, but she's on the other side. I guarantee you she's on the roof and she's on the edge. I don't know if he's talking her down or something. I don't know. So it intrigues me. Like there are snippets of this that I'm looking at going, okay, there's something else. There's something more going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and my kind of curiosity with the synopsis is no good deed goes unpunished. I'm like, is it no evil deed goes unpunished? So I'm like, is this a world where you're supposed to kind of keep to yourself and not get involved with people?
Okay, I may have spoiled myself on something on this, but
Oh no, no.
no, 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 no. So I'm again, it was more curiosity about this whole beast form of his. Remember
Okay.
how we were saying it looked like a mascot
Yeah.
and everything? Like I kept looking at the manga that they had for the for it and everything. I clicked on the source material and they have the picture of it.
I see. Okay.
I kept looking going, is that? I think he is a mascot suit. Like his form is that whole thing, but he's hollow on the inside.
Huh. That's the of sorts part, I guess.
I guess. Because then if you click on it and you look at the banner they have for it, she looks like she's going inside of him.
Huh.
He also has a very large gun in the manga picture.
Okay.
So again, it just more piques my interest as far as what's going on here.
Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting.
Okay, so no, here's something a little bit more, so you kind of get a better idea of it. Because the thing for the mangas, so this is what the manga synopsis says: Shuichi Kaguya is an ordinary high school kid in a boring little town, but when a beautiful classmate is caught in a warehouse fire, he discovers a mysterious power. He can transform into a furry dog with an oversized revolver and a zipper down his back. He saves the girl's life, sharing his secret with her, but she searches for the sister who killed her family. Ooh. And she doesn't care how degrading it gets. She will use Shuichi to accomplish her mission.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the overarching storyline.
Okay.
Like, why couldn't they put that in the thing for the anime? Why did they have to make it so vague? Is it giving some stuff away? Sure, but would I still be interested in watching it? Absolutely.
Hmm.
Because I want to know what happens. Who killed her family? What's the deal with this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways,
Yeah. It just rose up on the hype chart. But yeah, so that sounds very, very interesting. Probably one of the most intriguing shows for it to be like a brand, like a non-sequel.
yeah,
So
no, I'd say. Do they say how many? I want to see if they showed in the actual animation itself. Okay, they have not released as far as how many episodes they plan to have for this, though. Not reuse start date April 2020, see spring 2020. Yeah, they haven't released how many episodes. I'm hoping this is going to be more of a lengthy one, especially
yeah.
if there's like a mystery involved.
Oh yeah.
So they show, well, his arm might be covering it. I was trying to look at this the suit that he is or whatever and see. I don't see the revolver, but his arm might be covering it. That's just weird. Yeah, no. Again, it's piqued my interest.
Cool, cool. The next show we're going to be talking about is Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 2.
Yeah. So I finished watching this series in one day. I want to say it was only I think it was only 12 episodes for the first one.
Which
This
is
one,
a
oh,
stamp of approval.
and this one shows 12 episodes as well. So,
Mhm.
more of the same. I don't want to necessarily go into it a lot because there are some things that happened,
Mhm.
and I don't want to spoil anybody in case they're watching. But I'm quite interested to see where this goes.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I remember I had only seen the first episode of this, so I may, now that I have free time, I may delve into this and start.
I I would recommend it. It has some pretty hype moments as far as that goes. Like
Really?
there are some reveals that happen throughout it that it's like I'd almost like what do they label this as? What are their labels on this? Did they just say isekai? Okay. So yeah, it is an isekai, but I think drama would probably be one of the pretty high up there um, tags that should be there too,
Okay.
because there's a lot of dramatic moments in this.
Okay.
Like I know you know from the very beginning that she and I think they played it from the beginning because of how young she is, that she's weak,
Mhm.
but it's more than that. She actually has a particular sickness that is
Mhm.
causing her weakness.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going to go because they kind of wrap things up at least a little bit, but it's not like obviously they left plenty of room for continuing the series. So, I,
Oh, this is the show where everything was made out of wood.
yeah. Well, and this is the show where she wanted to make books,
Yeah.
and it's because she was originally I think I want to say she was a dude from in our world or whatever, and got killed, and then got reborn in this world as this little girl.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's a reason why he took this body over,
Okay.
and there's a reason why the body is in the state that it's in.
Okay.
So, and it's interesting because they are retained like she does retain the knowledge from her previous life, so she's able to bring in things that would not normally be in this world. But from her love of books, she wants to get she wants books. I mean, she would live her life completely happy if she had books. but no one like it's old. It's basically like pre-Renaissance time frame. No one has books. Well, if they do have books, they're handwritten and there's like one copy. So only like the rich nobles have books.
Hmm.
So
Explains why that guy has a book. He looks like a rich noble. Cool.
So
Yeah, I want to get. I gotta get back to this show.
it's good. It's a good show. I definitely would recommend it. Like I said, I don't want to discuss it in depth because I don't want to spoil anything, especially if you're going to watch it, which I would definitely recommend. But um, as far as the first season goes, because like I said, there's a lot of dramatic moments in it, and it's definitely one you don't want to have someone spoil for you until they've already watched it.
Okay.
So I won't discuss it with you. If you would watch the first season, I'd go into detail and just we could just flag people and you'd let them know, hey, spoiler discussion, this is happening. But since you haven't, I don't want to go into it.
Okay. So yeah, in the next episode, I'll add this for the stuff that I need to finish up, and then we can do like a season 1. This is what happened.
Season 1 recap and what we're potentially looking forward to in season 2.
Yeah.
So, like I said, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Cool. I can't wait to get back to the wood. All right. The next show we're gonna be talking about is Hokago Table Nishi. Oh.
This was definitely yours.
Yeah. After School Embankment Journal. Why did I pick this?
I'm curious too, because this looks like fishing.
I know. That's exactly what my notes say. Yes, cute girls going fishing. Just like the show Girls Going Camping. Yay.
I will watch the first episode of this and then never watch it again.
Yep. It's Doga Kobo, so like of course I'm gonna watch it. And yeah, the synopsis is Hina is an indoor-oriented girl who likes crafts and moves to a seaside town to continue with her high school education. She meets upperclassman Kiroiwa as she walks along an embankment and joins the mysterious embankment club. Hina dislikes sea creatures, but she fishes with her fellow club members and eats their catches. She gradually starts to appreciate the appeal of the ocean. Yeah.
It's over dramatic fishing with cute girls. I mean, I never watched it, so I'm watching the preview for it, and I'm like, we have the perfect cast. Ah!
Yeah. How do I think this is gonna play out?
We're gonna go fishing. Done. Oh my goodness. Perfect. I know it. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, just like the synopsis says, she's gonna have a lot of trouble at the beginning, and she's gonna warm up to it because they're gonna show her the way, and then it'll be happy time fishing, and then the show will be over, and then I'll want to go fishing.
It's a slice of life. I mean, bottom line, it's a slice of life. There's not going to be a whole lot else going on. We all know that if they had added something more to it, or there was something else going on, maybe a little dramatization or something like that, I might have been interested in it. But it's a comedy slice of life, so just like you said, they're gonna go fishing. She's gonna have difficulties. It's gonna be hilarious because she's gonna be not knowing what the hell's going on, and she's gonna make some silly mistakes that anyone who's ever been fishing be like, "No, why are you doing that?" And, you know, that's silly. Don't do that. But if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not into it, this is gonna be one of those. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. Girls going fishing.
Yay, fishing! I guess it had to happen some point. I don't think I've ever seen a straight up fishing anime, so we had to have
fishing.
one.
There's fishing in space.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right. Yeah,
yeah,
miss on that one. Yeah.
it wasn't good. The next show we're going to be talking about is Kami no To, Tower of God.
So, this one is pretty hyped. Um, I know even Spaz originally was very hyped about this show being brought out into a anime. It was originally a manga release, and it's a very popular manga as well, from what I've been told. And I've actually seen some people on some social media who have also been pretty hyped about this show. So I definitely feel like I need to check it out. The overall, so here's the synopsis for it. Tower of God centers around a boy called 25th Bam, who has spent most of his life trapped beneath a vast and mysterious tower, with only his close friend Rachel to keep him company. When Rachel enters the tower, Bam manages to open the door into it as well and faces challenges at each floor of this tower as he tries to find his closest companion. It's not saying much as far as that goes. And normally I would probably give this one a pass just because of that. But again, I've been highly recommended this show from many sources, and I've seen some hype on it. And I think this wasn't even like a published manga. This was an internet manga.
Okay.
So the fact that this was an internet manga that actually got an anime adaptation to it speaks volumes to me. You know what I mean? That says
Yeah.
to me the popularity of this is enough, and if the popularity of it is enough, it's got to be something good to watch, I would say.
Okay.
And speaking of tags, oh my goodness, this one has a bunch. Male
I don't.
protagonist, conspiracy, magic, superpower, cultivation, coming of age, and it had one more. Oh, tragedy. Oh,
Okay.
and that was actually a spoiler tag that they had been hiding. I didn't realize that. But that's the highest percentage tag on this one is tragedy.
Oh no.
I'm intrigued. You know, you could have that as a spoiler tag, and I'm still intrigued because I don't know where's the tragedy come in. What's gonna
uh,
happen? Is she gonna die? Why did she go into the tower? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Why did she go into the tower? Why can he not catch up with her? Did he? Was there a good time lapse in between he when she went in and he followed? And what is with this tower? And why is it called Tower of God?
Hmm.
I'm intrigued.
So one thing I'm curious about is when I saw the art style. Whenever you go into anime chart and you click on the picture, there's a bigger version of the artwork. And this, which studio does this look? It looks like Bones or something.
Doesn't give a studio.
Yeah, and I looked on my anime list too, and it doesn't show the studio. But I'm like, this art style, it kind of reminds me of like Eureka Seven or something else that's like studio, like a very high quality studio. I
No.
am very curious to see like what it's about. This wasn't on my list, but now that I know more about it, I'm like, okay, I see the art style. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. The tag is tragedy, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be pulling on heartstrings. So,
Okay,
um,
so I just went on to my anime list. Let's see. Lion Corporation announced a television anime adaptation of Tower of God on Friday. The anime series will begin airing in April 2020. An official website also opened, revealing a teaser visual. So, damn, that's all they've done. Tower of God centers around a boy. Da 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 da. Yep, yep, yep. Uh, Rialto Entertainment, a newly established CG production subsidiary by Aniplex, is credited as the Japanese regional producer. That's just the producer. Okay. Siu launched the adventure fantasy manhwa, and okay, that's when you're talking about the webtoon. Began releasing the chapters in English on June 2014. It's been around since 2004. Well, actually, the original came out in 2010, and then it started getting an English release in 2014 for the adaptation. It's been translated into 28 languages and garnished over 4.5 billion views worldwide.
I am very worried
About?
because you said it was a 3D CG studio.
It's established by CG Productions, a subsidiary. That's the name of it's CG Productions, a subsidiary
Okay.
of Aniplex.
Okay.
No, no,
Because
no,
if
no, no. It's not.
okay,
It's not saying that it's CG animation. It's saying that that's the name of the company, the production.
okay, I really hope so because if you look at the character pictures, three of them look like they're CG, and
Mhm.
one of them looks like just like a regular 2D drawing.
The president of the new studio apparently was a producer for Gurren Lagann and Kill La Kill.
Okay.
Hope his staff doesn't screw up. Love the manga. This manhwa is the best long-running manhwa, although it's not perfect. It definitely has potential to compete with the ultra-popular long-running Japanese shonens out there. Okay. This really feels like a do-or-die situation for the manhwa animation world, though. If Tower of God anime is well made, which we have no way to know, people went crazy way too quickly without reading or researching the studio. It will basically mean the next few years will be filled with all other popular manhwas who also happen to be or to happen to not be particularly worse than the popular stuff from Japan. Solo Leveling would almost certainly be a big success as well as animated, for example. I've heard a lot about that one too. Uh, but if we get a shitty adaptation after the Noblesse not it got in the past, it might sound like a manhwa is a big no in the heads of the big Japanese animation studios. Basically, let's hope the adaptation does Tower of God justice. Part 1 in particular was amazing, and the later parts have everything they need to be successful, so it's all on the animation. At least
Don't be
they
CG.
showed At least the picture they showed looks fine by me, but curious as to why there is no preview when it's supposed to come out in like a month or two. That is a very
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah. I just learned about this and I'm all worried now. Oh God. Okay.
They still don't mention who the actual studio is that's doing it.
Yeah, that's mm,
Is it a new studio? Is it
I am very, very worried.
a little, but let's see. So episodes unknown status. This is on my anime list. It's supposed to air in April 2020. Premieres in the spring 2020. Broadcast is unknown. Wow. Yeah, producer not found, licensor not found, studio not found, source web manga.
Yeah.
Why not found? Who's doing it? Who's doing it? I get maybe that because I just that story came out when February 6th. It's not a couple weeks back. Because so the studio, the producers of it are a subsidiary of a big known company.
Mhm.
Oh no.
It's like Aniplex, the animation that Aniplex has under their belt are shows done by very, very good studios
Yeah.
working. Do rah rah rah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have some heavy hitters in the for to see the style of this picture right here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's just gonna be another show that just knocks it out of the park. And then once the show's done airing, it's gonna cost $200 to buy it. Then the only thing I'm worried about is because I don't see anything from it yet.
Yeah, they have no trailer for it, which is the reason why I figured you probably didn't. You probably passed this one up,
Yeah.
is that it didn't have a trailer for it. But that's I just immediately when I saw this, I'm like, oh no, I got to put this on my list as one to watch. So, I mean, it doesn't even say. It doesn't even say who's going to potentially even stream it.
Yeah. If it's Aniplex, it's probably Crunchyroll, I think, or is it Funimation? I can't remember. I know, but I usually hear Aniplex a bunch of times
Mm-hmm.
on one of the streaming services. So, uh,
God, I hope it's not Funimation.
that
God, I hope it's not
should
Funimation.
be Funimation and it's CG, and the whole world's gonna explode with anger.
Oh, guarantee you if that's the case. Guarantee you if that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
Considering its recent troubles that it's had, maybe Funimation might not try to go for something that's not a for sure thing.
yeah.
Maybe they'll give it to Crunchyroll just because.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. All right. So, anyways,
Yep. Next show we're gonna be talking about is Listeners.
I figured you had this one on your list when I saw it. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on it.
I saw one thing and I was like, yes! And that one thing was Mappa.
See, I don't always go by the, it when I already have a good outcome by looking at what something I'm liking on something particular, and then I look at who's the studio who's done it, then I'm like, okay, cool. I have a better feeling about it. But I don't always look at the studios and be like, oh, I gotta watch this, whatever it is.
I
And
think I
when
saw Mappa in the trailer.
no, yeah, Mappa is the studio for sure. It
Yeah.
does say that, but
Yeah,
I
I was
just
watching
wasn't.
it and I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Then it's like Mappa flashed across the screen. I'm like, okay, I'm on board.
I mean, the only thing that I can say based upon looking at the trailer, because that synopsis was just ridiculous, but the only thing I can say looking at the trailer for it is it almost reminded me of shit. What is that one crazy ass anime that we've watched that had the girl with the guitar?
Fooly Fooly?
Yep, it almost reminded me of Furikuri a little
Okay.
bit, which would be the only thing that would really like intrigue me about it, but reading the synopsis, it just was like, I have no idea what the hell's going on in this thing.
Okay. Um, well, the synopsis goes the
It's a
great,
lengthy one.
yeah, the great adolescent symphony is set in a world where nothing called music exists. Humans are scared of mysterious life forms known as Miminashi, literally no ears, and the only people who can stand up to the Miminashi are prayers, literally those who pray in offering, who can plug in and pilot equipment, combat mecha. Echo, a boy, of course his name's Echo. Echo, a boy living in a scrap heap town of Liverchester, witnessed the legendary prayer Jimmy in the Great Battle of Fes against the Miminashi and a decade ago. Ever since then, he has held prayers in great esteem. One day, Echo is excavating a scrap heap as usual when he comes across Miyu, a girl with no memories and an empty audio jack input in her face. Oh no. This is like that other show. She also is a prayer. Before long, the two embark on a journey to uncover her origins and Jimmy, the enigmatic, pivotal figure of Fess. Uh, when Miyu is plugged into an amp, something that will change the world is set in motion. Thus begins a journey of sound that will never be forgotten.
I don't know.
This is,
Like I said, I'm 50-50 on it.
what is the name of that show?
Going and having you listen, you read it almost reminded me of there's that one mech one where they rode on skateboards or something like that.
Eureka 7?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
almost
Yeah.
reminds me of that.
Eureka 7 is kind of a lot this show. I have still not watched it.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of that, but the visuals made me more think of Furikuri. The synopsis reminds me of Eureka 7, and I don't know. I can't figure out where they're going with it.
Mm-hmm. Darling in the Franks. There we go. This show reminds me of that show.
Mm.
Because she has an amp jack in her back.
From the sound of it, it sounds like all of them do, whoever's a listener. So that didn't bug me nearly as much. But the fact that they hold her in high regards and whenever she plugs in, something amazing is supposed to happen to change the world. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I think I'll wait to see what your first impressions are of it, if you recommend it, much like that other show that you mentioned. Oh, B&A.
Okay.
I think this is another one. I'll wait to hear what you say. If you think it's something worth watching, I'll give it a shot. If not, pass.
Okay.
So.
Cool. I was like, they're both off Funimation and they're okay. Yeah. The next show we're going to be talking about is Major second season 2. What? Why are there so many twos in this?
Maybe it's the second core to season 2. Or a thing called
second season of Major Second.
Oh, Major Second is the name of it.
Okay.
You realize you're never gonna watch this one, right?
Oh man.
Did you see who it was by?
I just did now. Oriental Light and Magic. OLM. Thank you.
Never gonna watch it.
I would like to watch this show on the streaming service, but you won't let me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, sports anime.
We both have one on Oriental Light Magic. Hey.
Yeah. Baseball anime. I like sports anime. I never finish them, but this one's different. I mean, is this co-ed baseball? Because it seems like there's guys and girls on the team, or at least one girl. I'm not sure. But yeah, space sports anime. They're gonna try to win Koshien, and they'll have trouble, and then eventually something cool will happen. But yeah, well, my hopes are deflated. But yeah, that's it for that. Next show,
now you know how I felt when I found that out, and you're like asking me questions for it. I'm like, but my hopes are already deflated because I know I'm not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, move on.
Okay. The next show we're going to be talking about is Mao Gakuin no Futeki Gosha.
And this one was mine because it doesn't have a trailer. This one is done by
the
Silverlink.
The Pink series studio.
It recently Kanja no Mago, which was one it wasn't amazing, wasn't bad. It was decent, was good. Also Death March, again, nothing phenomenal. So I don't necessarily, and also the Isekai Shokudo. I don't necessarily think there's going to be anything amazing coming out of this one for sure,
Oh, they just
but
take it.
I don't think it's going to be necessarily bad either, as far as that goes. So this one.
Mitsubishi colors. Okay.
This one is the synopsis for this one is despite their aptitude for destruction, even demon kings tire of all blood and chaos sometimes. When Anoth reincarnates in the hopes of a more peaceful life, he ends up going to school with his descendants in his old castle 2,000 years later. But with magic on its last legs in this era, no one is able to assess Anoth's true power. So just looking at the picture there, considering they do not have a video trailer for this one as of yet at this time, I can probably say it's going to be something akin to a harem anime more than likely. He already has two girls there, blushing cheeks and all on that. So more than likely, it's probably going to be the case. The sources for this are originally, I guess it was a light novel, but it got adapted into a manga. And this is going to be taking it off the light novel, it looks like, for the source material.
Okay.
Square Enix is counted as a source, so that's interesting. Seem to have their hands on a lot of things. And this is a comedy, fantasy, romance. So, yeah, harem anime for sure. But yeah, no, I mean, it seems interesting. I don't, as long as the art style I see there in the picture is going to be one that they're going with, I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. It doesn't look anything. So I mean, it's fantasy, so it takes away that realistic look that we were talking about from the other ones that from previously. So I'm cool with what they have showing. Um, yeah, not a huge amount necessarily to talk about. It's fantasy, you know me. If it's fantasy, I'll generally at least give it a go around just to see what it's like. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. How do you think it's gonna play out? Is it gonna be just like regular average school day life with people with extraordinary powers, or is it
Um,
like a different kind of school?
I mean, they say 2,000 years later, and they're going to school inside of a castle. So, depending upon how far back, I mean, it sounds like it's an alternate world. I don't think we're going to have something like our world. It might just take some similar aspects from our world because, it looks like the two girls are wearing school uniforms, just of different colors or something like that. Um, but if they're inside of a castle, it's still going to be some sort of medieval type, fantasy setting. So we're not talking about like 2,000 years from our time frame where they're unless it unless time becomes circular in that regards, and even though we're in the future and there's futuristic things, we go back to castles or something like that. I don't know. I've seen shit like that happen before, but um, yeah. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a fairly, like I said, from the previous animes that I've watched from the studio, they haven't had anything amazing in regards to it, but they haven't had anything horrible either. So I think most of what we're going to see here on this is just going to pretty much check off the stereotypical anime tropes. We're in a fantasy setting, we're in a school, he has love interests, multiple, so people, he's having to decide or whatever, I don't know. So yeah, I'm not expecting anything absolutely out of this world from this one. I'm just, it's going to be intriguing me at least to a certain extent, I feel like.
um, yeah, harem and a castle.
So there we go. Harem, castle, school. You could interchange like any of those parts out and be talking about any other anime out there.
Yeah.
Harem, castle, school, magic. I mean, what are even the tags for this one? Comedy, fantasy, romance. Yeah. So, and the actual English title of this is The Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Okay.
So I mean, it's again nothing outstanding, nothing anime mind blowing, breaking or whatever, but it'll be fun. I feel like.
Okay. The next show we're gonna be talking about is oh god, Machine Eiyuden Wataru Nana Tamashi no Ryujin Maru.
Oh, okay. Wait, I didn't even see this on Andy Chart. Where are you seeing this?
Uh, wait. Uh,
Like, I'm not even seeing this on Andy Chart. Where the hell are you seeing this?
what? Wait, what?
What? Did you skip seasons?
Wait a minute. How? Did it get delayed in like an hour?
I don't know, but I don't see it on there.
Okay. Google. What happened to the show? Okay, there's that one, which is the original. And then when you go to the original, there should be. What?
Is that what I think it is?
What in the world happened?
I don't know.
I watched the trailer like 2 days ago. Okay, that's the feed.
Den Wataru.
Yeah. Oh, it's a. Did they change the name? It says it starts in April 10th. The studio is Studio Live.
When did this article get released?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why it's not there anymore. It was there like Friday. There's no synopsis on any Miami list, but I'll read the synopsis that I got from Chart 2 days ago that disappeared. Series protagonist Wataru, who goes to the real world, So Kaizan, in response to a call about the incident there. An evil president shrouds the area, and the robot Ryujin Maru's power has been sealed. Together with his friends, Shibakaru, Toraro,
This looks like
and
Chibi Gundam.
yeah, and Himiko, Wataru begins a new journey. So yes, this does look like SD Gundam, that little chibi series that they like did and became really popular because there's like a ton of seasons. Um, the reason why I picked this song, picked this show,
Because
is
of the song.
because of the song. Oh my god, this is straight up 90s anime. Like, it took me back to my anime roots. It's like the Chala Head Chala Dragon Ball Z music. Like, it's just straight up old school. Like, oh my god.
You know, the only reason why this is coming out is just so they can make toys. That's the only reason why this is coming out. Because the preview trailer I'm watching from YouTube about this, after the trailer, they like end the trailer, and I'm like, wait, what is? Why do we have like more footage after the trailer is done?
Yeah,
Is they're introducing the toys?
yeah. They're like not even. They're shameless. They're like, all right, that's the show. Now come buy our toys. Look how cool these are. I'm like, I don't even know who that is. Let me watch the show first, at
They're
least.
like, no, not toys. We got toys.
So, but yeah, you heard the music? Oh my god,
Yeah, I heard a little bit, and
it's like
I
it's music so of that era. Like
it
it's
is, but there's a reason why I didn't really care much for music of that era.
so
There's a reason why later on I was like, "Hey, this is way better." Yeah.
so yeah, it it hit me in the nostalgia feels. So I was like, I definitely gotta check this out. My only issue is it says Sunrise and it says the studio is Studio Live, and they have done wow. Okay, they've done a show called Love Love, which was like a harem show that was back in early 2004. All of their shows look like it's early 2000s, and wow. I think this studio just like got like it got broken up, and then all the people came back after like 20 years, and they're like, let's show people how it's supposed to be done. It brought back like 90s style anime.
The collective anime or the collective anime viewers now are just like, no, no. You should have left it. No, don't do that.
But yeah, this is like they're doing what they knew. Like,
Oh no, they are. They're definitely doing that. That's for damn sure.
yeah, I'm like, oh my god, it's crazy. So I am excited to see what in the world this is gonna be. I For me to stick to a mech show, it has it has to have some very, very good characters. It has to be all about the characters, not about the political situation going on or like the military strategy and all the orders coming down from the leaders and all the blah blah blah. And I'm like, no. What's up with the people? Like, tell me, like, is so and so gonna have to get on a suicide mission and he's gonna leave everybody behind? Are we gonna go on another mission to try to save him? Yes, that's the stuff I want to know. So, yeah, it's probably gonna be just a generic kids show that sells toys, but the song was really, really good, so I got my attention. Yeah, the next show we're gonna be talking about is Nami yo Kite Kure, which
Let me go down. Can we look at other things now? Ah, that one.
Wave, listen to me. Why did I pick this show?
I definitely did not care much for this after. I was like, wait, how does that sound familiar? I was like, oh, yeah, I remember just reading this one. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this show's weird. Like, basically, my notes say I have to figure out what this radio ceiling bleeding, bear kicking alien restaurant anime is about. It made no sense. I have no idea. So let's find out. The synopsis is the stage is Sapporo, Hokkaido. One night, our heroine, Minare Koda, spills her heartbroken woes to a radio station worker she met while out drinking one night. The next day, she hears a recording of her pitiful grumbling being played live over the air. Minare storms into the station in a rage, only to then be duped by the station director into doing an impromptu talk show about explaining her harsh dialogue. With just one recording, the many eccentric facets of Minare's life begin to pull every which direction as she falls ever deeper into the world of radio.
I think these are just stories. Like, it's so crazy. Now that you mention that, and the fact that I realize that she's continuing on this whole thing with radio, talk show kind of thing. I think for the most part, the craziness that's happening of her like having a fight with a bear, of her trying to perform some sort of exorcist on somebody who had like their walls bleeding with words and ink and shit like that. It seems like it's just like she's living out whatever stories she's probably discussing on the air.
Yeah.
That's what I get from that. That's the only thing, honestly, that to me makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she still works at this restaurant while at the same time being some sort of host for a talk show radio kind of thing, just I don't know.
It feels like she's gullible or like easily trickable.
Probably.
Because she storms in there and they're like, oh yeah, about that, but what about this? And they like distract her and they're like, hey,
we'll come sit down and let's talk about this.
Yeah. It's like it happens every day. And she's at work like wiping tables or something. And she's like, oh, when I get off work, I'm gonna tell them off. And then she storms back in there and gives them more content to like put on the air again the next day. So yeah. Interesting. I'm kind of curious what these stories are going to be.
Don't know.
But yeah. What was the studio for this one? Sunrise. Oh. No idols or robots? Okay. Interesting. The next show we're going to be talking about is Princess Connect Redive.
I hate to imagine what brought you to because it's a fantasy one and I'm not interested in watching it. And yet you're interested in watching it.
What does my notes say?
That puzzles me a lot.
Oh, okay. The magic that they were doing looked cool. It looked like the effects that they had looked different than normal. And then it's cute girls in fantasy, so I'm like, okay.
Okay, so I never watched the trailer for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just watching it now as you're talking. And the minute you say cute girls in anime is right at what time stamp is this? Like 32 seconds into the trailer when the maid looking woman, I don't know if she's the swordswoman or whatever, she probably is because she's got like little armor pieces on, comes up from the bottom of the screen and you just see the big bazongas bouncing on screen. You're like, cute girls doing anime. And I'm like, cute girls in anime. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the synopsis goes: set in the lovely land of Astora, where the gentle wind blows, Princess Connect Redive follows an adventure of Yuki and an enigmatic young man, Kokoro, a small guide who looks after Yuki, Pecorine, a beautiful swordsman who is constantly hungry, and Carol, a cat-eared.
Damn you, Carol. Just name her Carol because she's part cat, and everyone named cats like plain things. Is that what happened?
Yes. So. And Carol, a cat-eared magical girl with somewhat cool personality. Okay. These faithful four form a guild entitled the Shokudono Epicurean Hall and embark on delicious adventures together. Delicious.
Delicious?
During food?
Why delicious?
don't know.
Why delicious?
One of them's always hungry, so maybe she like, we gotta go to every restaurant.
Is that the whole drive of the whole team is just to freaking go to a different restaurant every episode? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's like looking at
You realize the source for this thing is a video game?
Oh. Okay.
I mean, they even advertised it at the end of the trailer.
Oh, yeah, side games. Okay.
Well, it's from Side Games, and then at the end of the trailer, like right before it cuts, it shows it's a mobile game too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Diner Dash anime.
I don't know. I never see anything great come of these. I don't ever do.
Games done a few different anime. Like, let me click on them. What have they done? Because didn't they bring over Oh.
No.
Zombieland Saga. I gotta get back to that one. Okay. I haven't seen anything else from them.
I think I actually watched the Blade Runner Blackout.
Okay.
Which, style-wise, is really good. The looks on that one was really good, if I remember it correctly, because that was back in 2017. But other than that, yeah, no, I really haven't watched anything from them. Okay, that Zombieland Saga was freaking weird as hell.
Man, in the first 5 seconds, did that get you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I was like, whoa! The first episode.
No, nothing got me as bad as the one anime series. Shoot, the school club where there. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Hold on, let me actually look it up so I can get the name.
Live, TacoYaki.
School Life.
Yeah.
Nothing got me as bad as that one.
Yeah. The one thing that I loved about Zombieland was like the one of the members hadn't converted yet, so she's like trying to eat the audience, and everybody's like, "Yeah!" Someone's like, "Ah, get it off me!"
That was so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
I love that show. I need to watch more of it. I need to finish it. Yeah. Back to Princess. Yes.
Thank you.
Cute Girls Fantasy Eating Food. Yay. Let's watch it.
God. Oh, shit.
But, yeah. That's it for that one. The next show we're going to watch is... the next show we're going to be talking about is ReZero! Season 2!
You realize the only reason why I don't have this one on my list is because I think what they did was they restarted the whole thing. And this one is a continuation of the one that they restarted.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh. You realize this is another... Like, this is not season 2 as far... Ooh, cat, what are you doing? Don't knock over the... No. I know you don't care, but don't knock that over. Can you not knock that over?
I wanna.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm seeing here. Make sure she didn't mess it up too much. There we go. Okay. No, they had... Like, it was this season, wasn't it? Or was it last season? It might have been last season. What was it? Let me look at it real quick. Was it winter 2020? No, it might have been 2019. Probably was fall 2019. I bet you. What the heck? Anyways, no, this was on. This was part of. The reason why I didn't look at this is because it was ReZero, and I want to say it's not season 2 as far as season 2 that you know of. It's season 2 as far as because they redid part of it, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be a continuation from the one that we knew or the one that they redid. So I'm not sure how it was supposed to go up to that point. I don't. There's a reason why I love this series. Don't get me wrong. It's an awesome series. I just wanted to make sure where it was in this timeline.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I didn't.
I hope it continues where we left off. If not, then it's more ReZero, so sure.
Yeah.
But
maybe I'm overthinking this. Anyways, yeah, it just I already thought I saw something about this before that it was. Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What was the studio that did it last time? Because I don't see studio on.
Last studio that did this was White Fox.
Yeah, White
They're
Fox.
the ones who did the first series, the original series.
Yeah.
And this one is being done by we don't know.
Yeah. White Fox. They've done Steins Gate, Goblin Slayer. That one with the two girls that ate that moldy fish.
Let me look at the trailer for it. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Let me see.
Akame got killed. Jormungand. Like they have some major Kanagatari. Like, oh, I can't wait.
Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong.
Are you thinking of Dungeon?
No.
Because I know Dungeon is Sword Oratoria, but that was like a parallel kind of thing.
Yeah, no. I thought this had come out sooner with the second. Again, I might be thinking about this wrong. Or maybe I heard the news about it and then I thought it came out sooner and they did something else with it. I don't know. No, this looks like the one. Okay, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this should have been on my list too.
Okay. Well, from the picture and from what I saw in the trailer, it looks like the witch that has been mentioned over and over and over.
Yeah, he finally meets her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am very excited because there are a lot of legends and stories about this witch, and people dare not speak her name.
Nope.
So I'm like, what is this all about? Especially because she uses that name. Amelia does. Or Amelia is the witch's name. I can't remember. But, yeah. Man.
Oh, that's interesting.
4 years.
She is.
Yeah.
No. So I didn't realize they did this on Anime List or AnyChart. You can actually click on the character and you get a little character synopsis. So Echidna, I think that's how you call it. Echidna is the witch of greed.
Yeah.
Echidna is one of the witches of sin. I didn't realize there was multiple witches. Okay,
so she must be just another witch.
Being the witch of greed, she has a strong thirst for knowledge along with a curiosity for the unknown, which defines her behavior. Echidna is described as black-hearted, being unable to sympathize with others and their feelings due to a lack of understanding. She will do anything to gain knowledge, be it deceit or employed sophistry. Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah. I can't wait. This is good. This is my number one show of the season.
No, yeah. If this is the case, then yes, this is also probably one of my number one show of the season as well. I just didn't think this was the same one I was thinking of, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
And like the trailer, he's just walking past bodies and
Yep.
bodies, and I'm like, what happened? Please rewind before all this happened. Oh man,
Oh,
like
I forgot about that, dude.
everybody go watch the first season now.
Yeah.
Watch it stat. You gotta. Yeah. Number one show of the season. Go watch. Go watch first season. Get ready.
Rim. I'm glad she's listed as one of the characters in this one, so apparently she does reappear.
Okay.
Because she was also an interest of the main characters, Subaru's.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he really we pined for Amelia, but when things were going really bad, she was also one that he kind of went to as well.
Oh man, the show is so good.
Oh no, it is. God, and you want to talk about tags? Jesus. This one has Isekai, time manipulation, witch, male protagonist, gore, anti-hero, elf, maids, twins, bullying. I don't even know what that is. Kimono Mimi? What is that? Prominently featured humanoid characters with animal ears. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
What are the spoiler tags? Tragedy, of course. I mean, that's not really a spoiler. You've seen the first season. That's that's just it.
That's a theme.
That's a theme. Memory manipulation. Guess I could see that. Hikikomori? What is that? Character who withdraws from social life. Oh, often seeking extreme isolation. Do you blame the guy? I mean, honestly, do you blame the guy? Gandari, yeah, no, I can see that. And time skip. I mean, after the first season, I think towards like the last 10 episodes, I was just like, oh my God, there are times when I'm thinking about it and I'm like, okay, dude, you need to get over this. You need to move past this. You need to go beyond this and everything. But like towards the last 10 episodes, I think of that series, I think it was like 24 episodes, I want to say. Towards the last 10 episodes, I was questioning whether my sanity would be okay. Whether I would completely lose it as he had done at one point. So, yeah. Yeah.
Man, bringing back another classic. Can't wait. The next show we're going to be talking about is Shacho Battle Mode.
Oh, did I know this was going to be on your list? I just looked at the next one. I was like, I was like, oh, well, nope. I see cute girls.
This one is President. It's time for Battle Shachibato.
This is another one that's based on a game, by the way.
Okay. The studio is not shown. And my anime list, do you have the studio? C2C.
Mm-hmm.
They
Studio C2C has done Ninja Box. I don't know what that is. Itoro Bochi Mamoru Sectics. No idea what that is. No idea what that is.
They've done.
I have no idea.
Onechan Gakita, which is like the sister who likes her brother.
So you're talking about every other anime, okay?
They also did How to Kind of Receive, which is like a girls play volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
Yeah.
I have high hopes for something about doing with fantasy because They have such a track record of this. Closest thing it looks
And,
like they've done fantasy-wise is that Shumatsu anime.
yeah. So, but man, if that's the teacher, she looks depressed. Jesus.
She really does.
God.
She's had a better life. No, okay. So you're on that same page on C2C, right? Where you're looking at it, where it shows them on there.
I went to and my anime list. Okay. Oh, it was right here. I passed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're looking at them, right? I have them lined up to where I can only see two at a time. So I'm looking at Shumatsu, the teacher, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I look at right below that is the Onechan Gagita or Kita.
Uh-huh.
And the facial expression from the teacher to the
Yeah.
sister is like identical.
Yeah.
It's like, really? I was 3 years apart from each other, and you didn't develop anything? What the hell?
Yeah. So, synopsis for this one goes: anime adaptation of the smartphone strategy game. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Oh, actually, before I go more into it, why did I pick this?
Why did you pick this? I think I know, but go ahead.
Oh, this looks like the nicest group of office coworkers going to battle monsters on an adventure. It's confusing because look, it's like they're wearing armor and stuff like that, but then in the other picture, this girl's like sitting at a desk, and I'm like, what is this? So let's find out.
This is another fantasy one too.
So the Isekai strategy role-playing game is set in a world where dimensional gates suddenly appear in the sky, opening portals to countless dungeons. The story imagines if the player is a company president. If the player is a company president who employs adventurers to take on dungeons filled with monsters for the treasures that lie within, the player recruits or trains fighters, mages, knights, hunters, rogues, and other classes of employee, and then dispatches the employees into battle. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought it was, and it is. It's weird.
Oh, it's super weird.
It's kind of like, let's say Blizzard or something like that, where the employees like jump into the games to help out the other players and stuff like that. Except for this one, it's like they actually like jump into a portal and are actually like for real in the game. And like all the loot that they pick up, they like bring it back to the company. It's like a guild. I don't know. King of the fantasy, yay!
Again, all these fantasy ones that I just kind of looked at it went, and yet you're like, hey! I should have guessed. Honestly, I should have guessed. I should have known. Any of those animes I come across now that are fantasy that have cute girls in them, be like, all right, DK, here you go. Let's throw it your way.
Oh, this was Doga Kobo. And I'm like, ooh, nice. Yeah. The next show we're going to be talking about is Food Wars, the fifth plate.
I mean, I can't necessarily. I'm curious to see where they're going with this. I really am, because it seemed like the last episode I watched from season 4 pretty much wrapped it up. But I guess maybe what they're going for is maybe a continuation of the schooling and then like till they actually graduate. I don't know. It seemed like things had kind of wrapped up. Like they played something where it was like, all right, this is it. This is what everyone's doing. We're continuing on. It was like one of those situations where it's like, yep, life goes on. Everyone kind of just doing their own thing, and we're good to go. So I'm curious to see what's going on. What's the deal? Why do we have a fifth plate? Um, I've really enjoyed the series up to this point. I've even, as I think I mentioned before in a previous episode where we talked about Food Wars, I've even watched a chef, a professional chef, watch these episodes and actually rank them and talk about them and how he's actually mentioning like, and he actually recreates some of these dishes as fantastical and amazing as some of these things are. He actually recreates some of these dishes, and I'm like, that's awesome. That you could actually take some of the things that they're doing in this anime and actually bring them to real life. You know, that to me is amazing. Um, but yeah, no, it's fun stuff. You know, at this point, this is the fifth season. I think even if you're averaging only 12 episodes, which I think most of them are 24, if not more episodes, or I think 24 is usually like for every episode for these. That's how many episodes? We're talking like 60 plus episodes of this show, at least. I mean, the characters, we know the characters. We know the characters. We know what they're about. We know what they do. We know what they like, and it's fun to have seen them grow and develop as much as they have had over time. And as fantastical as it is, and the fact that it's about food, the fact that in real life, like the things that they discuss about chefs and about how just like Yukihira's father kind of bottomed out at one point while he was going to school because he kept pushing himself and pushing himself. And the chef that I watched was like, you know what? This happens to chefs. This is what happens to some people who have, in the beginning, they dream about cooking. They dream about becoming a professional chef. But they push themselves and they push themselves and they push themselves so much that they lose their drive, they lose their passion, and it's no longer fun for them to do. And as he said, cooking should always be about having fun. Cooking should always be about enjoying what it is that you're doing, enjoying what it is that you're making, and experimenting and having fun with it. So, as he said, it's just like it amazed him, and it's a great show. Is it for everyone? No. As it's been said many times before, DK has not watched more than like one or two episodes of this from the very first season, and that's it. But is it a good show in general? Yeah. I mean, I generally like it. I think it's a great show. It has a lot of good things going for it. It's like, as some people I've seen reacting to it, they mention it. It's like the DBZ of food, essentially. They're freaking headband coming out, and then they have some guy who's yelling and screaming and chopping things up, and things happen. You're just like, oh my god, it's crazy. It's fantasy, but mixed with real life, which is the best way to do it because you pull in elements that people can relate to. And anyways, I'm excited. I don't know necessarily where this is going to go because, like I said, the fourth season at the end of it kind of seemed like it wrapped things up. So the fact that they mentioned that there was going to be a fifth plate seems like, what are we doing? What's happening? Why are we continuing with this? And I don't even think there was. Yeah, there's not even a trailer for it, so I can't even say, based upon trailer, what's gonna happen. But yeah, I know I'm excited. I'm down for more Food Wars, and I want to see where we're gonna go.
Yeah, what he said. I will get to this eventually one day. It's like in the second group of shows.
I don't know. I mean, you brought up valid points as far as like your reasonings behind not necessarily wanting to get into it and necessarily watch it. And it's not to say that they don't continue to do these things. I think it's a little more low-keyed later on, where it's not as prevalent. It still happens. Don't get me wrong. We still have clothing explosions. We still have, orgasmic emotions over food and whatnot. But again, I enjoy seeing the techniques and what they do in food and seeing Yukihira come up with these fantastical ideas on what he does and constantly push himself to elevate and make food more enjoyable is just amazing to me. So I'd say it's fun.
Yeah, and as far as like cooking shows and stuff like that goes, I do like learning different things about food and stuff like that. For the longest time, I had a DVR set to record the food channel, the travel channel, and all these different like diners, drive-ins, and dives, and all that kind of stuff. And I actually learned some things from those shows that I use in a lot of stuff that I do cook when I am in the mood to cook. So I am curious to see like all of the different techniques and some of the crazy tips and stuff like that that I have during there. Is just it's starting to cross over from what initially got me to kind of stop watching at first to it's starting to become epically long, and I'm like, oh, now there's 200 episodes. Okay. So
maybe I should watch it.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's basically like in Inuyasha territory where it's like I'll have to set some time aside to like, okay, it's Inuyasha month or it's Food Wars month, and I'll tackle it then. So but yeah, I'm curious to see like the rest of your journey through it because like what Spad said, there's probably two more plates left after this. Sort of like a 7-course dinner, so that'd be kind of interesting if it does
I'm curious
pan
if
out to that.
The next type of couple of things are like setting that up to where it's going to extend to that point or something. I don't know. Or if they're just going to finish out their schooling. If that's going to be the whole gist of it is him actually like completing his schooling at this school. So.
All right. The next show we're going to be talking about is Sword Art Online Alicization.
War of the Underworld Part 2. Yes, so I'm glad that they picked this up as quickly as they did. Because goddamn them for leaving the last part at a cliffhanger. You mofos. Y'all suck for that. I mean, I can't necessarily go into details, kind of like in the same sense of, what is that other one that I was talking about? Oh, the book one. I can't go into details, because I'm sure this is definitely one you're going to want to watch and pick up. So I can't go into details. And this should be one you kind of pick up, because I can't, if going forward, if we start watching it, I probably pretty sure I can't go into details later on either, as far as what's going on or what's happening. Because it's going to be one of those situations where I'm just like, oh my goodness, so many good things happening. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the conclusion of this. Will they make more? I have no idea. I'm not sure if this is going to be it for Sword Art, if they're going to continue more with Sword Art. I mean, this is like, what, the... 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5th or 6th thing for Sword Art now at this point. And we keep kind of jumping around between different styles and different games and different things that they're doing. We've kind of seen Kirito as a character evolve and grow. I don't know. I'm curious to see where it's going to eventually end up. I want to see the conclusion of this, because they've really developed some pretty amazing characters in this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hyped. If nothing else, this might contend with ReZero as far as who I'm hyped most about. So.
Okay. So basically, as far as the Sword Art Online kind of, I guess, sagas go, as far as like the different games, it was like the original one was like the dungeon crawler, the 100 levels. Then the second one was like a fantasy RPG type game. Then the third, I guess, season
Gun Gale.
Yeah, season 2 was Gun Gale. Then they had
the spinoff of that.
The spinoff, which didn't have the main characters. And then they came back with Alicization, and Alicization kind of
spun into War of the Underworld.
Yeah, so it's basically like 4 seasons for Alicization, which is the VR game.
I mean, they've all been that. But sorry. This is the one where they put more of like actual his consciousness into this.
Yeah.
Because like of the fact that he had like, because he had ended up getting shot or stabbed. I don't even remember the beginning of it now at this point. It's been a while, but
okay.
Yeah, no, there was some crazy things that happened, and I'm curious to see where this is going to end up leading to. So, like you said, it's been a long journey. I don't know if they're going to do anything else after this. They might, because I mean, they keep jumping from game to game to game. So,
okay. So, yeah, I so much to catch up on. It's like, do you think skipping Gun Gale, the first, like, would be missing out on a lot?
if you skip Gun Gale, you're missing out on a character.
Okay.
You could skip the spin-off of Gun Gale.
Yeah.
That's fine. You could skip that. But skipping Gun Gale would mean like there's literally a character that has just now showed up in the War of the Underworld that you would have no idea who they are.
Okay. I'm gonna have to hunker down and dedicate a whole section to this.
Mm-hmm. Out of all the series we've talked about so far, I think like Sword Art and then the book one would be like the two you'd really want to catch up on. Book one's gonna be easy. That's like 12 episodes. That's
like
we're talking like a day, like I did pretty much.
Yeah.
Sword Art, that's gonna be a little more complicated. You might have to devote a couple different weekends for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will go ahead and take a look at this current season and see like what am I gonna hunker down and do now that now that I am a bit more free. I can kind of take my mind off of the stuff I've been like obsessing over and like kind of just take a break and like go at half speed because I definitely want to. I want to be caught up on all these shows, like especially probably not this season, but like the next season. Like there's some of the, like this whole year, I think there's like a bunch of different sequels and trilogies that are like coming up, and like on a lot of them, I'm like I haven't seen that one yet. So I want to try to get like just clean the slate of stuff that I like absolutely need to get caught up on and like catch up. So. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate a lot of time towards it now. But yeah, Sword Art Online, still good. The next show we're gonna be talking about is TacoYaki. This is all girl baseball, I think.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, girls play baseball. Was there another reason why I picked this?
I don't think so.
Nope. So, the synopsis for this one is, in her junior high school years, the pitcher Yomi Takeda was not able to get very far in a cross-school baseball tournament. Since the catcher on her team wasn't at her level, she couldn't use her signature move, a magic throw, and eventually regretted not being able to use it. After junior high, she decided to stop playing baseball and went to Koshigaya High School, a school without a baseball club. There she found her long-lost childhood friend, Tamaki Yamazaki, who used to play catchball. That's weird. With her, and just used to play catch with her when they were kids. Tamaki also played baseball during her junior year as a catcher, and could even catch Yomi's magic. Their promise with each other during the childhood, of course, could now be fulfilled walking together on the road to baseball once again. The story of girls who love baseball will begin. Ooh, all this cliche is
oh my goodness,
a little heavy.
I might have to sit down for a minute after all that cliche. That one, oh my goodness. I feel overburdened. My back's hurting. Oh, geez. The only thing they're missing out of that is the beach episode.
Yeah. So, yeah, they have that. What is going to be their challenge? They're both at a school that doesn't have a club, so they're going to have to try to start the club. They're going to have to find members. There's going to be struggles during that, and then once they actually start get going, then they got to work on their chemistry as a team. And then once they get the chemistry kind of going, then they're going to end up having each game will be harder than the last because the teams are going to get stronger and stronger, and they'll make it to the tournament with the last couple episodes, and they may win or not.
Yep. I think you just described that whole anime. Bravo, bravo, bravo. I'm pretty sure you didn't leave a damn thing out of that one.
So, yeah. I wonder if there's going to be other special moves other than the magic throw.
I mean, you have the magic throw. What else do you need? It's magic.
So, yeah. It's just standard textbook sports anime.
By the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look forward to see if they throw anything a little bit special in there. The next show.
Magic throw. I mean, what more do you want?
The next show we're talking about is Yahari Ore Seishun Love Comedy wa Machikaiteru Kan.
Season 3.
Yeah, which...
Have you actually kept up on this one?
That's what I was mentioning with that other show. I forgot that this one was this season. So I saw the first season. I don't know if I watched the whole thing, but then I know I watched a considerable chunk of it. And then the second season came out, and I was like, ooh. And I don't know how much I watched of that. And then now the third season comes out, and I'm like, oh no. Everybody looks all sad and depressed, and like they got to make some important life decisions. And then there's another girl that gets added to the mix, and I'm like, oh God, what did I miss in season 2? So, yeah.
Like you got some catching up to do.
Yeah, I'm like, it's gonna be the end of the season, and like, okay, how many shows you got? I got one show from this season, but I ended up catching up on everything else from the last couple of years. So
sounds about right.
Yeah. I really like this show. The guy's kind of like mean, and I don't know, he kind of lightens up after like the interaction with the girls. I don't know what happened in season 2, which is like really like, God, I gotta find out now. But everybody's like sad, like they gotta make some big life decisions. I'm like, what's happening? Are they all going to different colleges, or did the new girl come in and they're like, somebody he has to choose one of us? Like, I don't even know. Like, man. Yeah. Well, these characters already proven themselves in the first series, so I'm like, I'm on board with whatever situation they get into afterwards. So
place your bets, everyone. Place your bets. Will he be able to catch up before this comes out?
Yeah. Put a poll on Twitter. Yes or no?
No. Hell no. No.
Yeah. That's all I have to say for that one. I don't even know why there's a third girl. And like, I don't know. And like, for it to be the third year, the third season, I'm like, they're probably like seniors. So they're like probably about to split up and go to different colleges and stuff like that. So, and like, they're not like, it's not there. The trailer didn't show any of the silly parts that I remember happening, unless it was like dry humor and it's not like crazy silly. But yeah, it just seemed very, very serious. And I'm like, oh no, what happened? So Yeah, we shall see. The next show and the last show we're going to be talking about is Yesterday wo Utatai. Utate. Which is mine too.
Oh yeah, no, this one was yours.
Okay.
No, this one was yours.
Oh God, why did I think this? Oh.
What?
My note says it looks really pretty.
How am I not?
What studios? Oh, Doug and Kobo. Oh God, man, they're batting 1,000 right now. Yeah, Doug and Kobo, and it looks really nice. So, of course, it's on my list. The synopsis for this one is: the coming of age story follows a university graduate named Rikuo, who has not been able to find a permanent employment after college. A mysterious woman named Haru, who gets a pet crow, pet crow, and Riku's former
a little bit.
Riku's former university classmate, Shinako. Okay. I don't remember anything that happened in the trailer. Pet crow. That's not interesting, I guess. Yeah, I don't really see characters that have like pet birds. Yeah, I can't think of. They have like some kind of creature that flies, but not like just a straight up bird. So I'm kind of curious if the bird like says certain phrases or something like that. I don't know.
Somehow I don't feel like this is going to be a bird from Demon Slayer.
Oh, man, that bird's loud.
That bird was loud. That bird was loud. You are not wrong about that.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's more of an adult story. It's a university story. So, I'm kind of curious to see how Dokakobo is going to do some more aged up stuff. But, yeah. That's it for that one. And that is it for our episode 60, not 59. I swore I'd changed the numbers and printed it out, but oh well. That was our 20 shows for the upcoming season, upcoming spring season of 2020. Yeah, I got quite a bunch of stuff that I need to catch up on.
Oh yeah.
Some brand new IPs that are going to be interesting. Some recurring shows that are going to be hype. And a bunch of cute girls doing a bunch of other stuff. I think this is like the one season I had like so many shows that fit that little niche.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah. So the next show we will be back on the 29th of March.
March already, jeez.
Yeah. And depending on how the thing, hopefully everything finishes by like the 27th, 28th, and like nothing is left for the last episode. But yeah. We've kind of gone over everything extra I wanted to say about the seasons. Yeah. That's it for today's stream. We'll be back on March 29th. And yeah, as always, this is DK and Shade from TacoYaki Anime. And thank y'all for watching. Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thanks for supporting the channel any way that you do. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.